If this picture stresses you out, I apologize. The intention of this video is not to stress you out, nor do I expect you to fully understand what's going on in this picture at the end of this video, because I don't even fully understand it. Technology is extremely complicated, especially networking. Michael is the only person in the district who fully understands it, and he still has to ask for help sometimes too. I can also remember one time I was in a room with the person who built our district network infrastructure, the person who managed and knew all about our servers and had decades of experience in servers, and then me, who has a lot of background in web. And at different points in the conversation about technology, we were all confused. So you're never not going to know everything about technology, nor should you have to. But having an understanding of technology, including some more advanced concepts like this one, can help you in the classroom, and I'll explain why. So what this is basically a picture of what happens as your computer goes out into sends messages and information out into the world and then receive things back. So think through, you're accessing Google Drive, your students are accessing map testing, Google Classroom, STAR testing online, all of those things. That's a picture of what's going on here. Now, we're not going to go through every single little thing, but I kind of want to walk through sort of all that happens in very, very simple details, and then explain why it matters to you. So down here in the bottom left corner, for example, your student's Chromebooks, your laptop connects to a wireless access point. Then it goes through a whole bunch of fiber in our buildings and it crisscrosses all over the place. And then it goes through our firewall, which is actually, sorry, it goes through some switches, which have in those like our firewall, which is kind of what protects us and keeps bad things from going out and bad things from coming in, and kind of shields who's allowed to come in and access our information. Okay, and then it goes out through a router, and then once again hits another company's firewall. Okay, and then goes out to that company out there, whether they've posted some things on the internet, which is basically actually on their servers. So you can see it's a bunch of cables, firewall, switches, out into like a router, through another firewall, hitting another company's servers and information, and then guess what? It all repeats the process and comes back through to you. So what that means is when every time you simply access a web page, about 1,000,000 things have to go right, okay? It also means that if it doesn't work, one of 1,000,000 things could have gone wrong. So first of all, one thing is, I encourage you to take the lesson that many of us in technology have learned. A lot of things in technology are not worth stressing about because honestly, there's so much that needs to happen that everyone should just really be thankful when things do work and that they do work as often as they do. The second thing is though, if something does go wrong, one, tell us as quick as you can because we do want to fix it and make sure it's all working. But two, try to be as detailed as possible. So for example, you can't access a map test online. We can't just say, well, the Chromebook's not working because it could be a lot of things. So is it things like, well, I can get logged into the Chromebook, but then this page doesn't load, or it loads and then I get this error message. So you may have experienced this if you've contacted us to say, hey, I need help with this. And then we ask a lot of follow-up questions. We do not think you're dumb whatsoever. We do not think your problem is not important. It's actually the opposite. Your problem is very important, but we know it could be a whole bunch of different things, and depending on which thing it is, there could still be a few solutions to that. So reach out for help as quickly as possible, but also be very detailed in how you ask for help. Because, for example, you think about it, when we do a map test, when we were coming back from virtual learning to a hybrid learning and the whole world was using Google Classroom, when we do STAR online testing, not only is all these parts moving, but there's millions of kids doing the same thing at the same time. So you know what? It could be something on our end, and that does happen. We found out this week we had some fiber issues, and those Michael worked so hard, worked through lunch, stayed late multiple days, worked hard with another company. They got things up and running and have a permanent fix on the way. So it could be something on our end. Sometimes there is an issue with Chrome where it needs an update or one of the updates caused an issue and we've had to reach out to companies and fix it. But it could also be something like over here on the other end where the company wasn't prepared to handle the traffic load. And we either contact the company or we realize, you know what, we need to choose a different day that's going to have less traffic, or let's stagger how often we log in and start tests. And so all these things can take place to make sure things are functioning, but a lot of that requires great communication. So if you have issues, don't suffer in silence, but also be as detailed as possible in what's going on so that we can best solve the solution. And the other thing is, I would say, again, when you're using technology, just relax. Most of the time, it's going to work and do what it's supposed to do, even if it may not, load and run as fast as we would like it to, or especially your kids would like it to. I know mine are quite impatient with that. But also, just know there's going to be times that it's not perfect. And so we're going to be prepared for that and plan. And I will tell you, I taught creative technology classes, which meant web design, professional communications, which had a lot of video digital graphics. And even though it was a digital technology focused class, I always tried to work to have a backup plan just in case, knowing it's no one's fault. There's no reason for me to be angry at anybody. It's just one of those things where stuff can happen. And so we just want to be prepared. So that's networking, not even 101, maybe 0.0001 in a nutshell. But hopefully it helps you with realizing the importance of giving us detailed information and understanding that when some things happen, it does sometimes take a little time to troubleshoot and figure out the exact cause and then again the exact solution.